5 things to avoid if you have narrow hips. Two women can slip into the same dress. One looks perfectly balanced, the other somehow feels incomplete. The difference isn't in their beauty, but in the choices made when styling. Certain details can unintentionally shrink your shape instead of enhancing it. So let's uncover the 5 styling mistakes you'll want to avoid. And at the end, I'll reveal one powerful alternative that could completely shift how your silhouette appears. Number 1. Low-rise bottoms that shorten vertical balance. Low-rise bottoms have a very particular effect on the body. By cutting across the hips at their lowest point, they visually drag your proportions downward. Instead of creating harmony, they shift the eye away from your natural waistline, leaving the torso looking unusually long and the hips appearing slimmer than they truly are. For someone with narrow hips, that imbalance is even more noticeable. Think of it this way. Fashion is less about size and more about proportion. When the waistband sits too low, your body's natural curves lose definition, and the lines of your outfit can feel slightly disconnected. That's why many women find themselves adjusting their tops constantly or feeling like something looks off, even when the jeans technically fit. Now, compare that to mid-rise or high-rise options. These cuts draw attention back to the waist, where your frame is naturally smaller, creating the illusion of fuller hips and longer legs in one stroke. It's a subtle lift that brings the body into balance. Whether you're choosing jeans for a casual day at the office, a quick coffee run, or even a dressier dinner look, opting for a higher rise works like a quiet style upgrade, one that flatters without calling attention to itself. Fashion experts from publications like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar consistently remind us that balance is the foundation of great dressing. Cut matters, but it isn't the whole story. In fact, what the fabric itself does to your shape can be just as powerful, something we'll touch on shortly. Number 2. Overly stiff fabrics that erase natural curves. Rigid fabrics have their place, but for narrow hips, they can work against you. Think of heavy denim without stretch, thick cottons that hold their shape like cardboard, or sharply structured suiting. These materials don't move with the body. Instead, they sit on top of it, flattening your natural lines and leaving very little room for softness or flow. When fabric doesn't give, your silhouette can appear straighter than it really is. This is why a pair of stiff jeans might feel stylish on the rack but look boxy once you're wearing them. The same happens with suiting trousers that crease but never curve. Rather than enhancing what you already have, stiff fabric can erase it. Now consider the difference with fabrics that drape. Silk blends, fluid wools, or denim with a touch of stretch. These materials shift with you, adding subtle movement that visually creates dimension. As you walk through your day, whether stepping into a meeting or heading out for a relaxed evening, that natural flow of fabric gives a quiet sense of presence without needing to force it. Comfort plays a role here too. Softer fabrics don't just look better, they feel better. And that ease shows in the way you carry yourself, which is part of style in its truest form. Stylists often choose drapey textures to bring balance to lean frames, because movement itself builds the illusion of curves. But clothing isn't only about fabric. The shape of your outerwear can either strengthen this balance or completely undo it. Number 3. Long straight jackets that cut the hip line. Picture a straight, boxy, long line jacket, the kind that falls right across the narrowest part of your hips. Instead of adding structure, it slices through your frame, leaving your hips hidden and your shape flattened. For someone with narrower proportions, this creates the illusion of no curve at all, almost as if the body disappears beneath the fabric. The challenge isn't the jacket itself, it's the cut and where it ends. When outerwear stops right at the hips without any shaping, it removes definition. The eye travels straight down, missing those subtle transitions that create balance. That's why you might feel polished in the mirror, but slightly unfinished once you're out and about. There's a better way. Jackets that end just above the hip bone or fall slightly below it preserve the natural line of your body. Add in tailoring, like a gentle taper at the waist, or choose styles with darts, seams, or even a soft belt, and suddenly the same outerwear frames you instead of erasing you. This makes a big difference in daily life. Think about professional settings where polish matters, brisk mornings in colder months, or layering pieces for travel. A jacket that respects your shape gives you warmth, style, and balance all at once. Fashion stylists frequently recommend cropped or belted coats for women with narrower hips, precisely because they carve out the curves that long, boxy shapes take away. And while cut is key, what you wear below the waist, especially in terms of color, can transform the whole equation. Number 4. Excessively dark tones below the waist. Dark shades like black, navy, or deep brown have long been praised for their slimming effect. And while that can be useful in some cases, it doesn't always serve someone with narrow hips. On trousers or skirts, these deeper tones tend to minimize volume, pulling the eye inward and reducing the appearance of shape. Instead of balance, you're left with a frame that feels flatter than it truly is. The alternative is not to abandon sophistication, but to shift into tones that bring presence. Mid-shades like taupe, camel, or soft gray, along with lighter neutrals such as cream or sand, can add visual weight where you need it. Even subtle patterns, like a fine check, a pinstripe, or a small floral, create the illusion of depth and fullness. Textured fabrics like tweed or corduroy work the same way, giving dimension that darker colors often take away. Clothing should never feel like it's erasing part of your body. It should lift your confidence and highlight the balance you naturally hold. Picture getting dressed for a dinner or social event. The contrast between light tones below and a richer or darker shade above can change not just how others perceive your frame, but how you feel walking into the space. Color psychology backs this up. Lighter shades draw attention, while darker ones recede. Stylists use this principle constantly to guide the eye where it matters most. And sometimes it isn't just the shade or the fabric, but the smallest details, like the placement of pockets, that can completely shift your balance. Number 5. Tiny or misplaced pocket designs on trousers. Pockets are one of those details that most people overlook, yet they carry a surprising amount of influence over how your shape is read. When pockets are too small, set too high, or angled awkwardly, they can make your hips appear even narrower than they are. Instead of adding dimension, they draw attention to the lack of it, leaving the lower half of your frame without balance. The best designs do the opposite. Slightly larger pockets, placed well at the center of the hip and angled with intention, create the suggestion of width and gentle curve. This is why some jeans instantly feel flattering, while others, even in the same size, don't feel quite right. The secret often lies not in the cut of the waistband, but in where the pockets sit. It's a practical consideration, especially if you live in denim for weekends or rely on trousers for work. Taking an extra moment to study pocket placement can mean the difference between clothing that diminishes you and clothing that enhances you. And emotionally, it's a reminder that the smallest details really do matter. They can either elevate your natural beauty or distract from it. Even denim designers admit this is no accident. Pocket placement is deliberately manipulated to create shape and dimension. That's how powerful the detail can be. And while avoiding the wrong choices is important, the real transformation happens when you start choosing designs that actively build the balance you want. Which brings us to one bonus point worth keeping close. Bonus point: transformative alternative. There is one shift that changes everything: structured A-line shapes and belted tailoring. Both invite balance where narrow hips need it most. An A-line skirt gently widens at the hem, creating harmony between your waist and hips without looking forced. A belt, especially over a blazer or dress, carves out definition and frames your curves with intention. Together, they transform your silhouette into something fluid, polished, and deeply feminine. If you've stayed with me until this point, I want to pause and say thank you. You are not just watching, you are part of a circle of women who care about growth, style, and self-expression. I share these insights as I would with a close friend because they're not tricks, they're tools that honor who you already are. Think of this as our trusted space, where details become the secret language of confidence. If you've reached this moment, I'd love for you to leave the phrase, "Balance is everything." Write it in the comments and let it be your quiet signature. Proof that you belong in this community of women who choose style not just to be seen, but to feel aligned. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I truly value it. If this added something meaningful, Give it a like to support the channel and subscribe for more daily insights. Share it with a friend who might need this gentle reminder too. Another video is waiting for you right here. And until then, I'll see you back tomorrow.